Alright, ZCommunity, I hope you guys didn't catch feelings by looking at this video title, but I'm just trying to be real with you guys, alright? So that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. What's the real definition of rich? All of the reasons why chances are pretty low that you're ever going to be rich, and then what you can do to actually improve your odds of this destiny or this dream of happening. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Alright, the definition of rich. What does it mean to be wealthy? Well, it really depends on who you ask, but I feel like the universal definition that can be accepted by everybody is somebody who has multiple assets that add up to a crazy high net worth that is well beyond your current age group, along with multiple sources of income that far exceed your actual month-to-month expenses. My personal rule is 5 times, but you know what? The more, the merrier. Now, using this definition, somebody who makes $60,000 a year and is 18 years old can actually be much more wealthier than somebody who's making $150,000 a year but is like 40 years old. And you know what? I completely agree with that, because at the end of the day, I feel like wealth is ultimately based on freedom and net worth rather than it's based off of income. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to be talking about what your target net worth should be because we already discussed this in another video. So check it out. We've got a calculator for you guys over there. So it'll tell you basically where you need to be within your specific age group, your target, and where you should be to be in the top 1% of that age group. But now let's actually talk about why chances are very low that you're going to be rich from 3 different standpoints. Now, you're probably mad at me because you're like, Tamer, how can somebody that's making $60,000 a year be richer than someone who's making $150,000? Well, here's the thing. It all comes down to your lifestyle, right? That one person who you're extremely judging right now, who's making $60K a year, this person can only really need $1,000, $1,500 every single month, and they'd be completely fine with the lifestyle that they're living. Versus somebody, on the other hand, who's making $150,000, but their lifestyle is so lavish that at the end of all of their spending throughout the month, they're not only at $0, but sometimes they're even in the negatives. Now, I see a lot of people who actually are focusing on trying to increase their income, which is amazing. I feel like that's probably the biggest step to getting closer to your goal of, whatever that be on a wealth standpoint. But it's very important to not let lifestyle inflation come along with that. What is lifestyle inflation? This is basically the phenomenon on whenever your income increases, your lifestyle also increases as well. For example, I was getting paid say $80K a year, and all of a sudden got some crazy promotion. I'm making $150K this year. I'm not gonna go buy a boat. I'm not gonna go buy a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? I'm gonna live the lifestyle that I was completely comfortable with, allocate that extra income to buy me more assets, to generate me more passive income so that I can achieve my goal of financial independence much faster. But aside from this very important point of lifestyle inflation, a personal rule that I usually like to follow is the 33-66 rule. Basically making sure that 33% maximum is going towards expenses that are more consumption based, whereas 66% on the other hand is being put towards increasing your net worth. So, buying more assets, whether that's real estate, stocks, whatever the case is. And you want to make sure that those are the baseline percentages that you're working with. Obviously, the more that you can decrease the consumption expenses, please, by all means, go for it, because you'll get to your financial independence goal much faster. And this is where we're actually going to speak about the second reason why chances are pretty low that you're going to be rich, which is spending. Now, let's be real. How many times have you heard, yes, you should be living frugally. Yes, you should be clipping coupons to save $1 on 2 bottles of ketchup. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's not really going to get you anywhere. Unless, of course, you enjoy doing the entire frugal thing, like clipping coupons, you like bargaining all the time. By all means, do your thing. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not worth putting yourself in the financial constraints or putting yourself through the mental constraints of trying to just limit your spending all the time. Because it ultimately really depends on the types of purchases that you're making and the frequency. For example, I used to have a huge problem of eating fast food every single day. I kid you not. You guys probably know this from before. But it came down where I had to ask myself the question, like, Tamer, is this a must or is it not? And most of the time, buying fast food is pretty much a waste. Like, I'm not saying deprive yourself, but limit yourself. Make sure that there's some moderation, because rewarding yourself with chicken on the rocks once a week is completely fine, but when you're doing it on a daily basis, it adds up. And that's the type of thing that you really need to focus on when it comes down to saving. Now, another thing that we just touched up on, which was the 33-66% rule. If you're finding it tough to meet that 66% of your income going towards assets or like investments, then you really need to focus on increasing your income, or you need to focus on revisiting what you've spent throughout the past couple of months and figuring out what you need to cut out completely or what you need to put to a moderate level. For example, I don't want to be seeing you shopping at the mall every 2 or 3 days. You need to make sure there's some balance there. And that's the thing, finding balance between frugality and finding balance between living the lifestyle that you want to live without being in debt, of course. Now, the last reason why your chances of becoming wealthy are very close to slim is because of the investing side of things. Now, the first point I want to make here is there are too many of you out there who think it's possible to consistently get more than 10% returns in the stock market every single year. Get it out of your head. It's possible to do it in the first year. It's possible to do it in the second year. But to do it consistently year over year, dude, absolutely impossible. So taking this into consideration, what should you do when it comes down to investing in the stock market? Well, my honest opinion, as always, just try to aim for those average returns of 10% a year, but also start saving a little stash of cash for real estate, because I feel like when it comes down to assets and net worth and things of that sort, real estate is ultimately the biggest wealth builder that I see. That, and obviously starting your own business, making sure that the law of affection is in place, but I feel like these are really the two biggest wealth builders. The stock market's great, don't get me wrong, I've been in it for like 8 years, but when it comes down to building wealth and things of that sort, you're going to be taking a lot of risk for rewards that might not even be guaranteed. But bro, with real estate, you're basically guaranteeing yourself returns every single year. If you're in Southern Ontario, the Great Vancouver area, just anywhere in North America or the world even, you're guaranteed returns. A business, on the other hand, yeah, there's a lot of risk associated with that too, but if you're able to execute, scale, and make sure that the business is successful in the long run, this could also reward you big time, but it depends on whether or not you're actually ready or prepared to do this. Now, we kind of talked about what you can do to improve each one of these standpoints, but just a little brief overview. When it comes down to earning, increase your income by increasing your value as much as possible, but don't let your lifestyle also increase with that. Wait until you actually become wealthy in order to do those things. When it comes down on a spending side, make sure that you're not depriving yourself, but only come to a point where it's either moderation or completely cut things out that just don't make sense. And lastly, when it comes down to investing, stock market equals 10% returns. Other than that, save your money up, get yourself some properties when it comes down to real estate, or if you're really up for the challenge, start your own business. Alright, but ZCommunity cuties, as always, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to share it with a friend to show them why their chances are very slim. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.